Okay, so you can also check out the 2022 NACLO handbook, and you can find some practice problems on the NACLO website. And then you could also watch the Linguistics Olympiad workshop by Zara, which is on the Lotusem YouTube channel. So these are the dates to these are some important dates for when you could register for NACLO and when it will happen. Okay, so the first question. So here we have the language arente, and basically you're given a list of these verbs, and you just want to like find out like about the grammar of it. So I'm gonna send the link in the chat to the question. Okay, so that's the link for this question. I'll give you guys, I think, like maybe 10 minutes or 10 minutes or so to try it. I'll put you guys in breakout rooms and then I'll bring everyone back. Oh wait, sorry, I think I sent the wrong link. Okay, so just ignore the first link and then use the second link. I think that's the right link. And I'll put you guys in breakout rooms and then I'll bring everyone back later. I want to quickly explain this one because I think this one's pretty easy. So the answer for the first one is that it's the time of action. It's either is or was. And then for 2A and 2B, you just look at the examples. So I'm gonna try share my screen again because I'm gonna try rejoining because I think that like when I stop screen sharing and when I reshare, it never works. Hey, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna leave really quickly. Can you guys see my screen now? Okay, thanks. I'm really sorry about that. Okay, so like I said, for the first one, it's the time of action because it's either is or was. And then for A and B, you basically just look at the examples. So I'll go over one of them. So so for A, we're looking for keeps on doing. So we see that first you add EP to the verb stem and then you duplicate the last vowel and consonants and then you add that to the verb stem. So you just look at these examples and then you find pattern and then you write that down. Same thing goes with B, you just have to find the pattern. And then for number 3, we just check that the rules for this. So that would be the rule from 2B, and we see that it doesn't really quite follow the rules. So that would be the one that needs to like be fixed a bit. And then for 4, it will be vowel. Okay, and then the next part of it, you just have to translate the 3 phrases. So you just find the stem which are given, and then you just add on the correct endings and like how to add it. Okay, so going to go into the second question. So this one, this person, he has a program where like when you have 2 letters, it switches those 2 letters to the name of a language. So like for example, when he puts the letters CE, it changes to that language name. So this is the first part. So what you have to do is you have to translate what this email says. And then the next part, the second part, it's you have to determine what order the script has to replace the codes. It will make more sense after you read the problem later. And then lastly, you have to write that sentence in the code And then lastly, it like you have to find which ordering makes the longest message. So I'm gonna send the link. Okay. Then I'll put you guys back into the breakout rooms. And then last question, I think some people finished it early, so I brought you guys back a bit early. So I think this question might take a bit longer time. So I'll give you guys maybe around like 10, 15 minutes. I'm not sure. So I'll put you guys in breakout rooms now. Okay, so for this question, the first part's pretty simple. We just replace the language names with its letters, but something you do have to notice is that for certain languages, like for example, the second word, if the language contains two letters that represent another language, that language will also be added. So you have to also consider that. So you'll just get this as the final answer translation. So you can just check that. And then the next part is a bit confusing, but it is really important because you need to get the order for this so that you get the next question, number 3, right? So this is the word order. So this one I want to explain because it is a bit confusing. So if we go back to this here, we'll see that so we can see that the sentence here, the word oh sorry. Okay. So we can look at this word here. So from this word, we can actually notice two things. So we first see that the IS in English could have substituted for Icelandic, but it isn't. So that has to mean that Icelandic is substituted before English. So I'll just have a list of rules over here. So okay, and then another thing we can notice is that for Hebrew, and so we see that for from C to the H of Hebrew, you could have substituted tomorrow. So then that means that HE has to be substituted before CH. So then we can also examine this word. So this word is longer. So from this word, we can just add on to a few more rules. So we'll see that CH is substituted before RO. And then we'll also just see that IS is substituted before CE. And then lastly, we get that CE is substituted before HE. So just the same method as before, we see that some of these words could have been substituted by others, but it wasn't substituted because it's not always substituted. So we have to see which one's substituted before. Okay, so then we also see that the last thing is that EN is substituted before CE. So we just gathered that list of rules from these two words. So then now going back to the question, we just see, you can just get the order from these rules that we have. So it will be first you select to IS, then EN, then CE, then HE, then CH, then RO. So then after you get the word order here right, then you could do number 3. Number 3, you just translate it, but you have to make sure you're using the correct word order and not substituting the wrong words. So you guys can check that really quickly. Okay, so then the last question, you want to find the longest possible sequence. So for that to happen, we can also observe a few rules. So first of all, RO has to be substituted last because it doesn't include any of the other letters. So we see there that RO is last. And then we also see that CE has to be substituted before C has to be substituted after IS because Icelandic has C in it, so it has to be substituted after. And then HE and C have to be before H, E, and C. H have to be substituted after CE because in Chechen they have CH and HE, so it has to be substituted after. And then we can just like look at others. So IS has to be substituted after EN because there's IS in English. And then FR has to be substituted before. English has to be substituted after French because French has EN in it. So we just get these rules. So then we can just see, you can just find the order. So FR is first, then EN, then IS, then CA, then CH, and HE, and then lastly RO. Okay, so then the last question I want to go over today is a bit confusing. So we're basically given okay, so I'm gonna send the link because I don't think the articles fit in the slides. So if you look at that link on the last page, there's going to be 2 articles. One is in Indonesian and one is in English. So one's in Indonesian and one's in English, and they aren't like the exact translations, but they are like talking about the same topic. So basically what you have to do is you have to look at these words and you want from the Indonesian article, translate it into English, and then you also have to find the Indonesian translations of some English words. And then lastly, you have to find if these 7 words, if they're either referred to a person, a place, or a time or date. So this one is a bit hard because it doesn't give like the direct translation. Give you guys 10 minutes again, and then I'll bring everyone back and explain it a bit. Okay, so this question is a bit harder because, like I said, the translations weren't direct translations. So the first question, the answer is, so the answer for the first question, we can find that because in the first sentence of the first article, we see this same sentence similar to the last sentence, the sentence in the second paragraph, which is known better as Uden Balu. So then we'll get that the asterisk is that word. So then we can look at the part two. So part two, we see that policy. So that actually is one of the main parts of the article. So that would be police, and it also sounds somewhat similar. So that could help a bit. And then we see that Harima, it's in the title of the first article. So then we also see that it says here here so then we also have this here, so we can see that that means tiger. And then we have that next word. So that word is named because here we have sorry, I'm looking for the part. Here. So here it says this, so that means that that word probably means named. And then the last word, Dumont, we have down here that Dumont 28th August 2009. So that means Dumont is probably a day of the week. So to figure out what day of the week that is, we see up here that September 3rd was a Thursday. So we can just quickly calculate that that is Friday. So then let's hit the answer to that. And then the next part three, where we have to translate the English words to the Indonesian words. So right here. So this is where salad, this is the answer to it, and we get that because here it says South Sumatra. So we get that Salaton, South means Salaton. And the next word is said. So that is pretty easy because we just look where the quotations are, and we'll see that kata means said. And then, okay, Rabu, we see that up here. It's also a day of the week, and because Thursday was the 3rd, that means Rabu has to mean Wednesday. Wednesday has to be Rabu. And then lastly, million. So alright, so it says a million over here. So we'll get that juta means 1 million. So then lastly we have the part 4. So we just have to find if it's either a person, location, or time or date. So the first one, Palembang, is a location because you can just tell that from like the English translation. And I'll say that Satu is a time because here it says August 22nd. So it's also a day of the week. See that it would be people because it is the jam by police. And then D, it's also a time or date, and specifically it's Sunday morning. And then E, it's a place. And then basically the last 2 answers, just use context clues to find out what the answers is. So you can quickly check. Okay, so that is the last question for today. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, if not, I think that's gonna be it for today. Thanks for coming, everyone, and I guess I think Zara's teaching next time, so bye.